So today's workshop is all about you, which is all about finding your inner superhero, more precisely, tuning in to your power and purpose. Power and purpose and flow can appear so far from where you are right now. This is because you're sending your energy in so many different directions at once and you're struggling to find your focus, especially when you're experiencing pain, fatigue, and invisible illness, and have not mastered a superpower like ADHD or autism. And when you're living in a state of, say, chronic stress, you will be disconnected from the now. And that's because you're under a thing called survival mode. It's where your body and mind feel under threat. And to be capable of engaging and interacting with the world, that you have to bring yourself back online and tune into the here and now. This little image that I'm sharing with you is about what's called the polyvagal theory. And we're only going to brush into these things, but polyvagal theory is so important because it explains, it was discovered by a guy called Dr. Stephen Porges in the 1970s. And people thought he was crazy. But now everyone's realizing that what he said in the 1970s is so right, and they're starting to apply it to psychiatry, and it's now part of the leading edge of psychiatry across the globe. So what they're realizing is the body and mind are connected, and when we're in that state of threat, feeling under threat, like fight or flight or freeze, that we're not able to engage, we're not able to interact because our brain, the prefrontal cortex, isn't able to come online because we're stuck in here at the back of our brain. We've got this tiny little thing called an amygdala, and it's down here in our limbic brain, our survival brain, and that's where we're coming from. So we're not able to think. We're not able to tune into logic and reasoning because that lives up here in the prefrontal cortex. So it's really important to try and bring yourselves back to center, or bring yourself back to who you are in this moment. And that's how we can get out of the survival mode and tune back into the present. The amazing power of your brain, it's like, wow, it is more your mind than your brain, because your conscious mind, it controls, say, 95% of our thoughts are done through the subconscious, which is it's autopilot, whereas only 5% is stuff we're conscious of, stuff that we're actually trying to do. So it's amazing, really, that we do so many things like walk and talk and hold things and drive and ride bikes and just do, we can knit and do all sorts of things without really thinking about it. And that's because it's done with the memories that we've stored in our past. I mean, our brain's an amazing thing. So and we think over 70,000 thoughts a day, some people more, some people less. Those thoughts that we're thinking daily, if you got engaged with all of them, where would you be? So it's really important to tune back into the now, the here and now. And the more that we can work out what to not get engaged with in our thoughts, the more we're going to be able to raise our 5% and bring more of ourselves online and be conscious of what's actually happening in our subconscious and when we're on autopilot. I mean, how many times a day do you ask yourself a question and struggle to come up with the answer? Decisions can be the hardest thing to make, especially when it's a choice between where you should be and where you want to be. Do you find that contemplating life decisions leaves you in a state of confusion? everything that you do is based on the choices that you make. It's not your parents, not your past relationships, your job, the economy, the weather, an argument, your age that's to blame. You, and only you, are responsible for every decision and choice you make, period. So we need to stop blaming everything else and start taking responsibility. And we do that by bringing ourselves back and realizing what can we do in this present moment. Otherwise we'll get ourselves all caught up thinking about all sorts of things that don't matter, that aren't relevant, because now, what's here and now, so doing this course and being together right now, that is what matters in this moment. We want you to look deep within your inner self to find where your purpose and mission exists. Making decisions doesn't have to be difficult. The intention behind today's workshop or session is to help you drop what's no longer serving you. It's tuning into your inner superpower, because sometimes the weight that you need to lose isn't on your body. It's very, very possible that you believe you have nothing to drop, or nothing you can drop, or you think that something does need to change, but you haven't got a clue what or how to decide. No worries. I have a really simple trick that's going to teach you how to get you back on the right path. So you know you're following the right path when you've got a light, happy heart about your actions. There's 3 C's of life, which are choices, chances, and changes. And you must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. You have to learn how to make choices which are right for you. In this picture, it's like, come on, inner peace. I don't have all day. And I can totally resonate with that. It's like, you know, sometimes you're just sitting there thinking, come on. But your head maybe is a bit, you know, you're in the past, you're in the future, you're not able to be in the now. And to find a focus, you have to tune into your you, and your you isn't in the past and it isn't in the future. Your you is right here, right now. Today, you are you, and that's truer than true. There's no one alive that is more youer than you. I will show you how to discover your core values, and they represent what's important to you in life. When you know your core values, they help you understand what motivates you, what you enjoy doing, what inspires you, and what you'd like to experience more of. Now, our superconscious mind is so powerful that it can completely change our world if we're able to understand it, and the subconscious. To tune into this part of you, you must take a deep dive into your superconscious. I'm going to explain about the 3 levels of conscious mind shortly. But just know that we've got to really dive down deep to be able to be aware of which one's which, and where we can find what there is that we can work with to discover our purpose and what we should be doing in the world. And don't worry, I've got you. This doesn't mean that you're opening up to anyone but yourself. And I'm going to show you how. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? It's quite a question, that. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? So beyond all the conditioning, all the experiences, everything that you've been through, everything that you go through, who were you? And don't compare yourself to others. There is no comparison between the sun and the moon. They both shine when it's their time. So stop comparing yourself to others. You can only compare yourself to yourself. You compare yourself like now compared to when you were born. Wow, what evolution, what beauty, what grace. Like you were a tiny little vulnerable, helpless thing. And now you're so much bigger, so much stronger, so much wiser, so much more knowledgeable. Look at where you are now. And you compared to who you were maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even yesterday or last week. You're growing, you're changing, you're evolving, and it's absolutely fucking beautiful. So I want you to ask yourself, where am I? The answer is here. You can't be anywhere else, can you? You know, where am I? And you can ask yourself this at any point in time, wherever you think you are, the answer is always here. You're always here. Yeah. And what time is it? Like, is it hair past a freckle? Well, the time is now. It is always now. So what time is it? It's now, you know? Where am I? I am here. And you keep saying it until you hear it. Where are you right now? You're here. Yeah? And what time is it? It's now. Where are you? Here. What time is it? It's now. And here and now is exactly where you need to be. So let's tune into ourselves. So now I want you to get yourself comfortable. Okay, I really want you to get yourselves in a comfortable position. You can be seated, standing, lay down, cross or uncross your legs. Comfort's priority. There's a lot of people that say you have to sit a certain way or do a certain thing. It's not right. It's conditioning. You know what's comfortable for you. And if that's hanging upside down, that's hanging upside down. And if that's sitting there naked, it's sitting there naked. And if it's sitting like, or lying down or standing up or anything, it's your comfort, it's your body consort. You know, no one knows you like you know you. You tune into what you need to get yourself comfortable right now. And then try and drop your shoulders. So relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Relax your hands. Breathe out slow. And just take a moment. You've arrived. And I'm going to invite you now to take part in a breathing exercise so that we can feel into this moment and quiet ourselves enough past the noise of our daily lives, so we can really tune into our now, into our truth of this moment. So I invite you to place your hand over your heart. And we're going to do something called square breathing. And square breathing is simply inhaling, pausing, exhaling and pausing for the same amount of time. What you'll find is when you do it for 4 is usually a really good average for the average person. We can up and down the amount of breath, like seconds that we hold our breath for and inhale for. And the more that you practice square breathing, the more you can aim for a 7 or an 8. Square breathing is so fantastic for bringing ourselves back in alignment with our true selves. And it was taught to me by Dr. Hugh Len, who is a kahuna, which is a shaman over in Hawaii. So I invite you to place your hand on your heart and inhale, 2, 3, and 4, and you're holding it there, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, holding it there, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, holding it there, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pausing there, 1, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, holding it there, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it there, 1, 2, 3, and 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. I hope you're all feeling a whole lot less woohoo and a little more now. Now we're really going to begin. So who are you? Like, really? Way down, deep? Who are you? Core values are how to bring yourself back into alignment with who you really are. The ego seeks to divide and separate. Spirit seeks to unify and heal. The reasons why core values sometimes don't work is because they're not core values. They're done with ego. They're done with conscious mind. So they're done with, they're sometimes just what people assume is correct, rather than what is actually in alignment with truth. Or some people just stick to the same ones. They think, oh, that sounds right. And then they just stick to that and try and live their entire life with it forever. It doesn't work like that. The ego self constantly pushes itself away. It constructs a future out of empty expectations and a past out of regretful memories. The only 2 times that this exercise has ever been unsuccessful with clients in the hundreds of successful ones was because the clients couldn't get out of their own way. They were too busy arguing with themselves to even allow themselves to be open enough to try to choose 3 words and stick with them. Okay? And this is because they're just not capable. I mean, they are capable, but, they're not consciously capable of doing it. They won't believe in themselves. They don't believe they're capable of doing it. They believe they know better. And they would rather argue with themselves than say, right, okay, now I'm going to stick at this and I am going to do my damnedest to ensure that I give this a proper go. But instead of that, they argue with themselves and they make all the excuses under the sun why they can't take responsibility for their own actions. You don't have to be like that. You don't. You know, they don't have to be like that. They choose to be like that. And they don't like it when I say, look, this is what you're doing. They really don't like that. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to call you out on your bullshit. So I will say things that can upset you. But I mean it with the kindest, most loving heart possible. And I mean it most respectfully, because I can see your truth. I can see what you're capable of. I know what you're capable of. And I can see all the tricks that you try and pull on yourself. So I'm here to point that out and say, hey, be aware, this might be what's happening for you right now, or this could happen. And be aware that these things happen because this is trying to do this, because your ego doesn't want you to lose who it thinks it is. But if who it thinks it is was serving you, you wouldn't be here right now. So please, please give yourselves some love, give yourselves some compassion, have mercy on yourself, and tell your ego to get out of the way, because you will find a way of working with your ego. You don't have to like throw it in the bin or anything. Ego is a great thing for keeping us safe, but it's finding a way of balance. Everything in life works when we have balance. And once you can tune into your truth, you'll be able to say, aha, yes, ego, you're trying to keep me safe. And in this circumstance, we can stretch ourselves out of our comfort zone. Okay? And in that state of being, wonderful things can happen. So the voice of your ego, if you listen to it, it's going to tell you there's always something you're doing wrong. There's always someone who seems to be doing better than you. A core values practice is a self-awareness exercise. It isn't about self-judgment. I want you to trust in your natural instinct and just have mercy on yourself. Like, this is about loving yourself into being. This is about having self-respect and just tuning into your truth and tuning into your natural instinct. It isn't about being anything else other than what you already are. Remember who you are. And to remember who you are, you need to forget who they told you to be and what they told you to be. It does not matter if you've forgotten who you are or never had any idea of who you were before the world told you who to be. Follow your inner compass. Like, just follow your inner compass. Follow your inner compass. It's going to take you straight back to your heart center. And I know it sounds all lovey-dovey, but that core, that's where you are. That core is where you exist. It's where you'll find your truth. This exercise that we're doing is going to take you past your conditioning, past your belief systems, and it's taking you straight on target to the part of you that still exists beyond your conscious mind. It's beautiful. Tune into your truth, live it, breathe it, and beam it. Core values show you how to tune into your deeper truth and integrate the truth into your daily life. Now, identifying your core values. It's okay to make notes, but please do not rush ahead and allow me to talk you through each step. I'd like you to ask yourself, what is it that makes you passionate, that brings out your smile, and that makes your heart sing? And then we're going to find that it's going to be a core value and it's going to be a part of your life. And then you'll find a way of having a life, living a life that makes you smile and makes your heart sing. When you're in vibrational alignment with you, as in your true you personally thrive. You feel good. You look good. You have stamina. You have energy. You have balance. You have clarity. You have wit. You have abundance of all things that you consider to be good. You thrive in all ways when you come into energy balance with yourself. So it's about vibrational relativity. Now, if we want a new future, it does not look like our past. We have to make new choices in the present. Our present is the gift of the now, where past and future don't exist unless we allow it. When the basis for your actions is in alignment with the present moment, your actions become empowered by the intelligence of life itself. So be realistic. Do not choose what you want in the future. Look at now, how you feel today in this moment, and tune in to receiving the gift of the present. Personal core values are unique to you. General values are situational, like what's true for you at work might not be true at home, but personal core values are you at your core. That's why they're called core values. So please copy this list and wait before you add your values. And then we're just going to nip over and I'm going to show you how I do the values. When I'm going to do my core values, I usually write my title so I remember what's on that page of my diary. And I put the date. Then I put the numbers, I leave a little gap. I put the numbers 1 to 10. And then I write my words here. So, words which make my heart sing, that resonate with now. So each word would be a descriptive word that really makes my heart sing, that really resonates with me, that's all about now in this moment and today. It's not about tomorrow, it's not about next week, it's not what I want to have at some point, it's all about now. I'm going to tell you all about your three minds. So we have our conscious, which is the active, analytical portion of our mind, which is our active awareness. We have our subconscious, which is the home of instinct and the storehouse of experience. So our subconscious is how we've kept ourselves safe in the past. It remembers all the bad stuff that's happened. It tries to make sure that we don't redo that again. And we have our superconscious, which is our greatest awareness, our highest self, our wisest self. So I'm going to show you to get past the conscious and subconscious minds into the superconscious with this exercise. So please remember that you must follow this system. Don't place the words you choose that resonate with you in any order. Don't try and put it in any order at all, because that isn't accurate. It isn't done. It isn't accurate when we do that, because it's done with the subconscious mind. Now, when we do it with our superconscious, that is where the magic lies. That is how we get past the conscious and subconscious. So for the highest, bang on target, most accurate, most successful core values, we need to bypass conscious and subconscious and really tune in to our superconscious. Your words, the words that I'm providing to you are to give you ideas. So we're each unique. There's going to be words that are missing from this list. There's different words that sum up your values better. Add your own words. You know, if you've got a word coming up for you, you'll be able to write that down on your core values list. So feel free to amend or add to the describing words in the following list. Sometimes a faint voice based on instinct resonates far more strongly than overpowering logic. So as I read the words, you're going to feel a response in your body to certain words that kind of jump out at you, and it kind of goes, this word. That's the words that you put on the list. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. Go with your first instinct. As soon as another word comes up with mind chatter, it isn't the word that you're looking for. And if you don't know what really matters to you, slow down, take a deep breath, tune into your higher self and ask the question, what really matters to me right now? When you get an answer, you'll feel a sense of alignment and ringing true in every sense of your body. So give yourself that conscious breath to breathe in and tune into yourself. So now I want you to see that I've got a list and I'm going to read these words out, and it's the words that are all about now. So a core value is about now, today, in this moment. It's not about what you want in the future. It's not about what you needed in the past. It's about what you need right now, here in the present moment. What resonates in this here and now moment? What resonates today? So as I read these words, feel into it. If it feels right, write it down. We're aiming for 10 words. You really don't want more than 10 words if you can help it. And if you tune into what resonates now, you'll know. It's like, does this word resonate right now, or is it something that I need in the future that I'm not ready for now? And that might help you to tune into what is in this moment, rather than writing a list based on somewhere that you've not got to yet. You're not at that level yet where you'd need that word. Now is all that matters. Now is here and now, and that's all there ever is. So accomplishment, accuracy, acknowledgement, adventure, authenticity, balance, beauty, boldness, calm, challenge, collaboration, community, compassion, comradeship, confidence, connectedness, contentment, contribution, cooperation, courage, creativity, curiosity, determination, directness, discovery, ease, effortlessness, empowerment, enthusiasm, environment, excellence, fairness, flexibility, focus, forgiveness, freedom, friendship, fun, generosity, gentleness, growth, happiness, harmony, health, helpfulness, honesty, honor, humor, idealism, independence, innovation, integrity, intuition, joy, kindness, learning, love, loyalty, optimism, orderliness, participation, partnership, passion, patience, peace, presence, productivity, recognition, respect, resourcefulness, romance, safety, self-esteem, service, simplicity, spaciousness, spirituality, spontaneity, strength, nature. Feel free to pause or rewind the video and listen to the list again. It's always best to keep it at 10 core values, and if not, we can work with what you've got. But do not change or erase any. So don't add. Once we start like putting, doing this exercise, please don't cross out a core value because it seems to overlap or have similar reasons for another one. Keep it there, because as soon as you start changing things, it's ego. So do not rub any out either. Don't go, oh well, that's not right. Don't rub any out. Do not change anything. That is your list. Whatever your list looks like is your list for now, and then we're going to break it down. Now, when it comes to choosing between the two words, so you're going to compare two words to each other, and sometimes it can feel a bit challenging. Now, you should always go with your first instinct, but if you don't know what really matters, just take a moment, take a breath, tune into your highest self. What really matters for me? What is for the highest good? You know, and feel into the first word, feel into the second word, feel into the first word, feel into the second word. See if something's shown up. It really should do. And that will help. Sometimes you need to then tune into yourself and feel into the word in your stomach, feel into the word in your throat, and feel into the word in your head, and see which one resonates with that part of you. Remember the first instinct. As mind chatter can arise, trying to confuse you, you can tell the ego, thank you, but no thank you, and just feeling into what resonates, feeling into, not thinking, feeling. Feeling is what we do within our body. We're feeling for sensations in our body. We're letting the thought, I mean, it thinks plenty anyway, giving it a bit of time out. So I'm going to read out the numbers, which I do in the little video. you choose between the words that you have next to the number. You will place a mark or tick next to the word that resonates out of the two, and then we count them up once we have completed the list, only when we get to the bottom of the list. The trick is not to overthink, but feel into what resonates most. So once you've finished and selected and marked or ticked all your values, you're adding or tallying up your marks and writing the total of marks by the side. It's really important you don't overthink or try and do not allow your conscious mind to try and give one more hearts than the other because you think something should be there more. Because when you really tune into core values and you're applying it in your everyday life, you're going to realize why that core value was more important than what you thought it should have been.
So once you've got your list of describing words, then you would mark off one so you know where it is, and you compare 1 to 2, then 1 to 3. And so as you compare things, so you choose the word number 1 or number 2, then you'd make a little mark next to the word that resonates the most. So then you'd look at 1 to 3, and you'd compare the words 1 to 3, and 1 to 4, and 1 to 5, and 1 to 6, and 1 to 7, and 1 to 8, one to 9, 1 to 10, and then you move on to the second one, and then the second one you're comparing the second one to the third one, second one to the fourth one, second one to the fifth one, second to the sixth one, second to the seventh, second to 8, second to 9, second to 10. Then you move over to the third, so it's the third or the fourth, the third or the fifth, the third or the sixth, the third or the seventh, the third or the eighth, third or the ninth, third or the 10th, moving on to 4. So each time we're marking one that resonates the both. So 4 or 5, 4 or 6, 4 or 7, 4 or 8, 4 or 9, 4 or 10. And we mark again so we know where we're going, and then it's 5 or 6, 5 or 7, 5 or 8, 5 or 9, 5 or 10. Comparing 6 or 7, 6 or 8, 6 or 9, 6 or 10. Moving on, 7, 7 or 8, 7 or 9, 7 or 10, 8 or 9, so 8 or 9, 8 or 10, 9 or 10, and that's where we finish. You can't compare 10 to anything else, so that's everything's been compared in a way which isn't down to ego, and it's based on the present moment, and it's what resonates deeply.
So the three values so the three core values that you've chosen with the highest marks will be your core values.
We now add up all your marks and put the number next to it. And the highest values, so with number 9, it would be with 8 points. And then both have got 6 points, so they come in so as you can see, your core values will be words that resonate, which make your heart sing, that are based on the now. So hopefully this little exercise will show you how you keep a track of where you are, which word you compare next, how to mark it up, and then count at the end, and then work out your core values.
From this moment on, for the next 3 months, so for this initial phase, I'm asking you to please, for 3 months, answer the questions that come up. Your questions must be present tense questions. When you're listening to yourself and you're noticing your questions, where are your questions based? Were they in the past? Were they based on the past? Are they based on the future? Because it isn't here yet. Or are they based in the now? So you need to make sure your questions are in the now. So right now in this moment, do I need this person in my life? Maybe not, and you're seeing if your choices align with your core values. So this really simple little thing. Shall I go to buy ice cream right now, this minute, like while we're doing the course? Does it align with your values? Do your values say you should be sat here doing the course, working on your higher self? Or does it say you shouldn't be doing this, you should be off getting ice cream? Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that right now you should be sitting doing the course and learning to grow and evolve and better yourself, because that's for the highest good, whereas ice cream can wait, So with each choice that you make to align yourself with the energy of your soul, you're empowering yourself. Authentic power is built up step by step, choice by choice, and it can't be meditated or prayed into being. Okay, you have to earn it, and you earn it through practicing, aligning yourself with your truth. Are you on the right path? How can you tell? Well, you need to get clear about your core values. You got to see what your core desires are. Do a brainstorm if you want, feel into things. Your core desires will make themselves known. You can design your entire life around your core values, and it aligns you with your destiny. When you use your core values to answer life's simple questions, life becomes simpler and smoother with so much less friction. That is because you are working in alignment with what's right for you. Life aligned is knowing yourself, heart, soul, mind and body, imperfections and all. Living out of alignment keeps us following other people's shoulds instead of our own path. And when we learn to follow our own course, we will find freedom. When you build your life and lifestyle around your core values, you will create a life that is satisfying and meaningful. Your core values must be met in all environments for you to live your truth. Alignment trumps everything. Stay off the subject that disturbs your alignment, and everything else that you are about will come into alignment. Your truth is you're not a machine. So every day your core values practice, and indeed your life and your practices are going to look so different. Doing your best looks different every day. Okay, some days are like, woohoo, yeah. And some days you'll be lucky if you get out of bed. And that's okay. Life can look like that sometimes. You're not a machine. Have mercy on yourself. Every day will look different. Don't give up. The 21 days to build a habit, 21-90 rule. 21 days creates a habit and 90 days to create a lifestyle. It's a tool that to practice, you're practicing the practice daily. So it takes 21 days for building the habit. 21 days. Yeah, that's all. That's 3 weeks to build a habit. Keep doing it. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Keep asking yourself, does this align with my core values? Someone asked me, who hurt you? And I replied, my own expectations. Have mercy on yourself. Always. Like no one ever got any inner peace without low days, without fucking up. And fucking up is how we learn and how we grow. There is so many amazing people in this world, and they also have rough days. The Buddha himself used to say, Maya, I see you, because Buddha would see the demons, his past, the memories and things coming along up, and just trying to get in there and kind of screw his day. And he'd say, shall we have tea? Which was symbolic for let's just sit with each other and let's be with each other, and make space for that. Values change over time. As you understand yourself better, values will take you deeper into yourself. They evolve and change with you. I want to grow. I want to be better. And you grow. And we all grow, and we're made to grow. But you either evolve or you disappear. It's best to review your core values no sooner than 2 to 3 months. But for the initial phase, for just learning how to live with your core values, please, 3 months. I ask you for 3 months to do your core values and allow them to really flow into your everyday life, and then revisit. Whatever we plan in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion, one day becomes a reality. This is the law of psychic cause and effect. And so what we put our energy into becomes so. So when you persist, it will get easier. Just keep at it. You know, affirmations, core values, acknowledgements, making the time, making the space, taking those few, takes a minute. Like you think, well, less than a minute, you get a question that's going to come up anyway. You say, does it align with my core values? Your ego. Be aware of that ego. Your ego is a set of thoughts that define your universe. It's like a familiar room built of thoughts. You see the universe through its windows, you're secure in it, but to the extent that you're afraid to venture outside, it becomes a prison. Your ego has you conned. You believe you need specific thoughts to survive, because the ego controls you through the fear. It's fear of loss of who you are, or who it thinks you are, or wants you to believe you are. You have to give up these thoughts, but to give up the thoughts, it can seem like it's going to kill you, it'll annihilate you, so you hold on to them, you cling to them. Your mind may try to say that you're wrong, that the thoughts are wrong, that the core values are wrong, and you might try to change them straight away. Do not fall for that shit. Do not fall for that. Stick to your core values. They are your building blocks. They are your skeleton. They are your foundation for everything else to be built on. Everything else will just sort itself out after that. You cannot be your authentic self without becoming intimate with your true nature, without going beyond personality and cherished beliefs, likes and dislikes, which is ego. To discover your core self, you must be willing to break the agreements that you have made with mediocrity. The moment that you stop running the racket of staying small to please society, family, friends, bosses, your original face is going to come into focus, and you will know who and what you really are, like as an emanation of the universal one. I believe in you. We have all made mistakes. We all have struggles and we regret things in our past, but you're not your mistakes. You are not your struggles. You are here. You are now, with the power to shape your day and your future. Every mistake, every mistake is a chance to try again. Start now, start today, and apply your core values. Thank you. If you have any questions, please message me. I'm here. Okay. Any issues at all with anything, please drop me a line. That's what I'm here for, you know, and I'm here to listen, and I'm here to help you explore wherever it is you feel that you don't feel like you're getting up to par or up to scratch, or, you know, where you think you could be doing better. I will listen, and together we're going to get through this and find the right way to move forward. So I love you very much. I'm so fucking proud of you for sticking through this, learning this, and making the effort to try. It takes a shitload of courage, and you're doing it. You're living it. You're being it. So I can't wait to see you next week. Please, anything at all, I'm only a message away. Okay. I love you very much. Okay. Namaste.